Hi, and welcome back. So we are in my 2026 Model Y long range rear wheel drive, and we have we're going to do an accessory, a really good one. One that I knew I would want because I had it in my Model 3 and I like it a lot. And that is the screen swivel mount. This one is from Hansshow. I purchased this myself, full disclosure, so you're gonna get my honest review. This was not sent to me or anything. I spent my own money on it, so yeah. So let me get the camera situated and we will open the box, see what's in it, and we'll do the install. Okay, so in the box, let's see what we've got in here. Should be everything we need, but let's see. Okay, so there's a little piece of foam here. We've got some info. I guess it's install instructions and some information from Hansshow. Put that down. Okay, well, everything's wrapped really nicely in like this cloth to keep it from getting, I guess, scratched or whatever. Very nice. Each piece is wrapped individually. There are tools included in here. So let's see what we've got. Okay, so the first thing is we have the housing, which is really nice. Very, very nice plastic housing that we're going to be using. Here is another piece of the fascia. Again, everything is wrapped individually. Really, really nice to keep everything, you know, from knocking on each other and getting scratched. So I'm going to put that back in. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, this here is for the temperature sensor. That will get mounted in here. So we're going to put that aside. We've got, oh, this is weighty, so this is clearly the actual mount. Yep, this is the actual mount mechanism, which we're going to be installing, so that's really good. And not only that, but this comes with all the tools I'm going to need. Comes with the pry tool, all the wrenches, 2 extra bolts, everything we're going to need. So everything's included. This is a great install set. So we're going to move some seats around, get things set up. We're going to get started. Okay, so the first step, we have to turn off the screen in the car. So I'm in the passenger seat so I don't accidentally turn it on, hopefully. So you press the car, you go into, I believe it's service, and somewhere here we should have power off. I believe this is where it is. No, maybe it's in safety. Power off. It's in safety. So you go to safety, power off, power off. So that's going to power everything off. The car is now powered off. Now I can't open or close any doors, or otherwise it's going to come back on. So I've put a cloth down so that when I lay the screen down, it's not going to get scratched or damaged. And yeah, so let's get to this and see what we have to do. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to pry off this cover because we have to get to the temperature sensor. So I'm going to get my little tools out here and we're going to get that going. So let's do that. Okay, so let's see. So what we're going to do is there's a little divot here where you can get this in and pry this out. There we go. All right, we've got it. So now what I'm going to do is unhook the pressure sensor. It's hard to see in here, and I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to break anything. Okay, so now we got to get this temperature sensor out. So I got a different little screwdriver here. There we go. So it helps to have a little screwdriver that you can fit in there to get it out. Okay. All right, so we're going to move on to the next step. So now that we've done that, we should have access to, there are 2 bolts here, 10 millimeter, and they provide a wrench for this. So we're going to unscrew them. See if we can with this included tool. Oh yeah. And we're going to keep these because these we're going to reuse to put things back. This is all going to get reused. So, well, not all, but a lot. I think everything we take out goes back. Okay, so there's one out. Put it right there, and we're going to do the other one. Whoa, okay. Now the thing that I'm concerned about is I don't want this screen to turn back on while I'm working with it, and I'm going to be plugging and unplugging it. So you want to not really touch it or jar it or close or open any doors, because otherwise you will. There we go. So we've got it out. Okay. There we go. So we've got the 2 bolts. Okay. So now the next step, now that we've got these 2 bolts out, which I'm going to put out of the way over here, we have to remove the screen. It should come free. So the way that we're going to do this is you just wiggle, and there it comes. You don't want to pull hard because you do not want to yank these wires. So what I'm going to do is readjust my towel and make sure the screen is not going to turn back on. So next thing, we want to remove this so we have access to the cables, or easier access to the cables. And there are 2 Torx screws in here that we need to unscrew. So I got to just figure out which of the included tools will work for that. So let's see. Nope. I think it's this one. Yep, there it is. All right, so we're going to unscrew this. Okay, there's one. And then we're going to remove the other side. This is going to get easier once we can get the screen out of the way. I just want to make sure I'm not turning the screen back on. I'm desperately trying to avoid that. Let's see, let me get a better angle here. I can see what's going on in here. There we go. We're in. All right. Just getting it into the tip of that screw was the trick. Okay. So I believe I've got it. Let me just get the screw. I don't want to drop it. Nope, didn't get it. All right, let's get it back in there. Now it's out. Okay. So we've got the tool and the other screw. We'll put them down. Now we can clear. Again, I want to make sure this is off. It is. So now we can clear this. Now I should be able to pull these other 2 plugs out. So there's one, and they are color coded. And again, you don't want to break anything. Wow, this is tight. I'm going to use that screwdriver again to push in the little lock. Oh, there we go. All right, we've got them. Whew, screen is now detached. We're going to remove this. You're going to keep this because you may want to put this back to factory. So we're going to save that. Okay, so now we've got the cables out of the way. Screen is detached and it's safe. Now we're going to move on to the next step. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to remove the temperature sensor from the original plate, which again, we're going to save in case we want to go back, and they include the tool. So you're just going to unscrew these 2 here. Like this. It's very tight, but that's okay. We're going to remove it from here. Okay, there's one. And they seem to be self-tapping screws, so they grab, they don't just easily release. You just got to be gentle with it. I mean, it's fine. I'm going to use the other end of this so that way I can get a little more leverage, because it's so tight being a self-tapping screw into the plastic, and you don't want to strip or damage anything. So now I should be able to do it. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So now let's see here. We've got the temperature sensor off, okay? So now we're going to take this plate, we're going to save this temperature sensor, we're going to reuse along with the screws. So let's go on to the next step. Okay, so for the next step, we're going to put the actual rotating bracket in. We want this round piece facing up, and it just sits in here like so. Okay, and you push it all the way. There are little stops. I'm going to try and show you. There are little stops here that you want touching on both sides. So you want to push them all the way in. And then let's move on to the... Okay, so now it's time to install the first fascia, and the bolts will go through this into here and hold this in. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to route the cables through here and make sure they're down, and then we're going to push this on. The fascia goes in here, and you want to make sure you're going to have to kind of jiggle it around a little bit. Oop. Jiggle it around a little bit to get this lined up. And then there we go. Okay. So what your goal here is you want to get this installed. Let me try and show you. You want to try and get this installed so that these holes line up on both sides. That's what's going to hold everything in, okay? And now we're going to rebolt that on. So let me set the camera down and get you a good angle here so you can see sort of what I'm doing. That looks as best I'm going to get. So now what we need the original bolts we took off, and we need the included tool, and we're going to screw this back in. We're going to bolt it back in, I should say. So we're going to push this in, tighten these in. We don't want to over tighten because remember, you're going through this plastic fascia here, and what you do not want, you don't want to crack anything. So you want to tighten it, but you don't want to go too crazy here. I mean, you definitely want it in tight. You want to push the fascia in while you're tightening it so that it's tight, but you don't want to, well, you want to make sure you're not knocking your screen over. And you want to tighten it. You don't want to, again, you do not want to crack this plastic, so don't go crazy. I mean, you want it in, but you don't want to break things. Okay, let's go on to the next. Okay, so now it's time to put the other piece that comes with this, and we're going to use the original 2 screws we took out of here to put it on. Now this only goes, these curve, so it only is going to go one way, okay? But the thing is, we've got to get this plugged in. So what we got to do this properly is we've got to route the wires through here so that we can plug them in, and then actually thinking, I don't remember, do I route all 3 or just route 2? Let me check something. Okay, so we only want to route the 2 screen wires through here, and now what we're going to do is we're going to plug the screen back in. Okay, and again, they're color coded, so the gray one goes in the gray, the pink one goes in the pink. Should only fit one way. It should click in, which I don't think it did. Let me see, hold on. Did it? I don't think that it's in. I will put these out of the way. There it goes. Now it clicked in. All right, and now we can take this and put it down the way it goes, one way, and we can reattach it with these original screws and with the tool that was provided, which I'm having trouble reaching, but that's okay. Now I'm not going to tighten this yet till I get the other one started because I want to get everything lined up correctly. So I just started it in, and I'm very thankful that the screen has not turned on because I didn't want it to turn on while I was in the midst of this install. So this is a good thing. We're actually almost done. This is really getting close, and I am trying to film it. It's easier if you're not filming. Okay, so that's in, it's done. So I want to make sure that the temperature sensor wire is not stuck up into this. It's got to be separate. And in fact, make sure it's not even twisted in here. There we go. Now what you do is you put this back on to here, like so. Oops. Like this. Like that. Okay. Very nice. And then you use, and I'm going to get the appropriate, so, then you use the 2 extra screws we're given and then this wrench here to bolt this back in. And this should just bolt right on. And then the screen is effectively installed. Obviously, I don't have the temperature sensor in yet, but we're going to deal with that in a minute. So we're going to put this one in. We're going to put the other one in. Let's see if I can get a good look under here. Oh, there it is. There it goes. Tighten it up. And the nice thing about this kit is the previous kits, it lowered your screen. This kit keeps the screen at factory height. Wow, that's so nice. All right, so the last thing we have left to do is to install the temperature sensor. Okay, so the way that we're going to do that is we take our temperature sensor, and there's only one way to do it because these holes are only going to line up one way. That's it, just like that. They only line up, sorry, they only line up one way. Let me back this up. So then you're going to get your original 2 tapping screws that go into the plastic, and you're going to screw it back in with the tool we use to take them out, which I believe is this one. Yep. Now this is, again, you don't want to go crazy with this. These are self-tapping plastic screws. So you don't want to break anything. You know, these are going to bite into the plastic as you go. So you just want to be careful and, you know, do this carefully. And again, I'm trying to do this on camera. It's not easy. But let's see if we can. All right, I'm going to rearrange the camera to make this easier on myself here and see if we can do this better. Hang on. Let's see. Lower things down here. Let's see if we can get this to work easier. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, it's very tight. And you really don't want to break anything in here because you got one shot at this. If you break this, you know, I mean... So you want to be careful and just go slow, take your time. I think we got this one. There we go. Now we're going to put the second one in. So we're going to get it started carefully again so it's straight. Because again, this is tapping itself in. And so if it's crooked, it's going to tap crooked and it could crack and you could end up with problems here, which we definitely don't want that. So we're going to go very carefully, get it in. This is the final step. We've made it this far. We don't want to have a problem at the end of at the finish line here. So we're going to go careful. We're getting close. There we go. We're in. Let me just snug it up. There we go. Perfect. So that's in. Sorry if that wasn't on camera. So next, we're going to plug the wire back in, which goes this way. There we go. And now we have to put this back in. Now I need to line it up because there are tabs here. Okay. So there are 2 tabs that fit 2 notches. So this is only also going to go one way. Temperature gauge is in. Oh, sorry, you didn't get to see that, but it's back in. It's snapped in right here. Sorry about that. I apologize. That was off camera. All right, so let's check it out and we'll do the wrap up here. Okay, so it's in. You can see it's on and I can tilt it left, right, up, down. You've got a lot of flexibility. It's very, very nice. And you can kind of get it angled better for your own viewing because by factory default, it's tilted toward the passenger slightly, and I like it better this way. I had this in my Model 3. I really did like it, and it's just fantastic. Also, you can tilt it out of the way of any glare or anything like that to keep it, you know, more glare free. But it's fantastic. So this is a great upgrade from Hansshow. It works great, as you can see. It doesn't change the height of the screen. This is the newer version. It is a very easy upgrade. I mean, I'm a computer guy. I am not a mechanical guy, and it's in. You can see it's very good. It's sturdy. It's tight. And I mean, I can't, with one hand, I can't turn it, which means it's not going to wiggle or jiggle. You got to really use two hands to adjust it, which is good because you want it a little bit tight so that it doesn't go, you know, bouncing all over the place and changing its orientation, which the last one I had did not. So I'm sure this is perfect. So there you go. So there you have it. A great product from Hansshow, easy to install. You saw how well we did that, not a problem. And 1, 2, 3. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't yet, consider clicking that subscribe button. It really does help. Like, share, hit the notification bell. We're going to be having, this is now a Tesla only channel, and we're going to have videos every Tuesday and every Friday. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.